Hi, my name is Kevin Grote with MVM, and this is your preview for Board Royale, The Island by Arvis Games. Board Royale, The Island is a crafting survival game for 2 to 6 players, lasting 30 to 60 minutes. In Board Royale, each player takes on the role of a survivor lost on a desert island. You'll gather resources and then use those resources to craft items. During the course of the game, you can make and break deals, trade, or negotiate in any way you want. And then ultimately, either use your items to escape the island or eliminate all of your opponents. So as we dive in, keep in mind that this is a prototype copy of the game, okay? Everything you see here could change before it goes into mass production. But let's talk about the presentation here a bit. This is just a prototype, but according to the box, it looks like Arvis Games sent me the Collector's Edition, number 5 out of 2,500. The box is really, really nice, with raised lettering for the name of the game and engraved lettering for the rest. The box has a magnetic lid with a soft foam insert for the cards. And overall, the presentation here is fantastic. So, let's jump in. To set up the game, shuffle both the resource deck and the item deck. Pass out 5 resource cards to each player. Place both the resource deck and the item deck out on the table. Draw 4 item cards to create the crafting area. That's it. That's all the setup. Now we're ready to begin. A turn consists of 2 phases. The first phase is the resource phase, where you will either draw 2 cards from the top of the resource deck, or you may choose to instead steal 1 random resource card from another player's hand. The second phase is the action phase. During the action phase, you may spend resources from your hand to craft any items available in the crafting area. As soon as you craft an item, replace it immediately. You may craft any number of items as long as you have the resources to do so, but keep in mind that the resource cards are also like your life points. If you ever run out of resource cards, you lose. Item cards will consist of permanent cards that stay in front of you for the rest of the game, temporary cards that will be discarded after you've used them, and escape cards. Some permanent cards will allow you to take special actions like attack, forcing an opponent to discard cards randomly from their hand. Escape cards are really interesting. Each escape card is worth a certain number of escape points. Collect 10 escape points, and you win immediately. However, if you aren't going to be able to collect 10 escape points, then you have no other choice but to ruthlessly murder your friends. All of them. The feeling that the game gives you stays pretty true to its theme. You really do feel like a survivor on an island looking for resources. And when you use a lot of those resources to craft some big, awesome item, it feels like a real accomplishment. But if that item is a powerful weapon, you usually need even more resources in order to actually use that weapon. Then after defeating an opponent, you get to loot their stuff, which also stays pretty true to the theme. So that's the way the game is played mechanically, but where the game gets really interesting is in the player interactions. Remember, in Board Royale, pretty much all negotiations are allowed, as long as they don't break any of the rules of the game. So you can make trades, suggest deals, make promises, even borrow items. But you don't have to be truthful with any of your negotiations, meaning you can break any promises you make. But do so carefully, because having allies might prove to be more helpful than having enemies. However, when it all comes down to it, you're eventually going to have to break any alliances you make, unless you want the game to go on forever and ever. So when everything comes together, you've got a game where you're trying to manage your resources, which also act as your health, and you'll use those resources to craft items, which will both help you and hurt your opponents. You'll make deals and trades with opponents, all while attempting to knock them out of the game, or escape from the island using escape cards. If this sounds like a game you would enjoy, you can check out the Kickstarter page. Link to the Kickstarter will be in the description. Thank you so much for watching this MVM preview of Board Royale by Arvis Games. My name is Kevin Grote. We'll see you next time.